You brought me back in, you horrible,
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
horrible person. It's a funny story.
It is funny, and it'll never get old. John fights trees when he drinks Jack Daniels. It's just it's happy. It's euphoric. If I'm saying that right.
You're not.
No, you're not. But
It's not a choice. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Read the page.
I'm trying to make the shit sound fucking authentic. You got it all fucked up.
I know.
I'll get you a damn dictionary later.
I've had a couple of these. All right,
The speak and spell.
Speak and spell
on there though.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
Matt's reliving his coke days from college, and Justin's just grinning pure joy. Oh, that's the other Matt. All right, so not me. I'm like, I saw Matt and
Are
coke.
you sure?
I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
I didn't go to college.
I didn't go exactly. I didn't go to college.
Cocktails, things that I use for cocktails. Make a cocktail. Have a lot of people stalking me. I have cameras and guns, so go ahead, come and stalk me. But
You want to try it on me to make sure it fits?
he wants to see you actually take off your shirt, put that one on, and because I would hate to actually see this become such a burden that you give up on it, because this is something that I believe in your product. It's a great product. So I don't want you to give up on this, and so making sure that it's actually feasible to actually keep going. That's more important. Oh, don't get me started with Bland's. I have a love-hate relationship with Bland's.
I grew up drinking Jack number 7.
Yep.
Well, not as a kid, but
You can tell the truth here. Yeah, as a kid.
I can't wait to get my shirt. I'm going to cut the sleeves off as soon as I get it.
And I don't care what you say. Yeah, Jack Daniels is a bourbon, so I'll fight that stand all day.
Technically,
I'll start the fights on Instagram or whatever.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Wicked Whiskey Podcast, episode 5. I'm Matt.
And I'm John.
And we are here today with a guest. You probably have seen him around Instagram. If you're around the bourbon community and you're a bourbon enthusiast. Sink or Swim Trading Company. This is Dan. Dan, how are you, man?
Not too bad. How we doing?
Pretty good. So I've been trying to push your product around ever since I've found it. I've fallen in love with it, and I really want to get this stuff out there. So what you have is a demerara syrup that you barrel age in different types of barrels. So let's get into that. So what is Sink or Swim exactly?
So Sink or Swim is taking chances. I was at a job for 7 years, switched to a small startup company, and it was just taking a chance. Not something I usually do. And then last year, I decided that I just wanted to do something on my own, try to figure something out, and again, took the chance. So Sink or Swim that's what it means. It just means taking a chance and taking a risk. And now it's up to me if I fail or succeed.
Yeah, if you sink or swim.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So what made you start this exactly? What did you just start making your own syrups and you just kind of decided you wanted to sell it to your friends, or
I I like old fashions, and anytime I went to any type of bar, cigar lounge, restaurant, a lot of them sucked. Because
most of the time.
there's a few restaurants and lounges that make good ones, but a lot of them, they suck. So
Mhm.
then I started looking around and trying different brands that make old fashioned syrups, and some of those are good. Some are good, some suck, and some are super expensive and have all kinds of extra ingredients. And
Yeah,
I just wanted something. Yeah, I just wanted something simple that like making an old fashioned isn't that difficult, so I wanted to make it simple. So
Right.
I found the demerara sugar, and I was like, why don't I try making that? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, what can make it different? And just decided to barrel age it and see if that would work.
Yeah, it definitely works, and I'm gonna nerd out and because you are kind of like my favorite people to talk to and all stuff is the ones that actually really are interested in the whole cocktail kind of side of it. As you can tell, I'm in a basement bar. I'm a fully stocked bar. I actually have pretty much everything. I make my own syrups also, but I've never actually made barrel aged, and that was something that really intrigued me. So when Matt actually brought it to my attention, I went right out and actually bought bottles, and uh, and then I've been playing around with it, and it's just pretty damn cool. Not just for old fashions. You said you love making old fashions, and it's old fashions are easy if you actually know what's the recipe for it, and you can play around with it, do a lot of things. And one of the things that I love about yours is you can actually like taste it and know exactly what you want to put in it and put with it. And it's because you get that oak, you get that actually like the sweetness from the demerara and the viscous of it and how thick it is. And then you can just build from there, and it's usually you're building from the bourbon, and you're picking a bourbon or you're picking a rye or something like that you think is actually where you want to start. But I've been playing around with starting with just your demerara syrup. It's damn cool, and I'm going to actually make a cocktail. I'm going to make a Oaxacan um, old fashioned, which is kind of like strange for a whiskey to do it, but I'm going to be using um, Corazon finished in George T. Stagg, so I'll stick it with that. But I've noticed even some of the recipes that I've actually gone that actually are not old fashioned, this works really well with, and so kudos to you. I just love it, and so I'm gonna, while you guys are talking, I'm gonna go make this. So
So we
Awesome.
were
Thank you.
talking on camera too, before we started recording too, is you don't have to just use this syrup either for just old fashions or cocktails. You can use it for desserts. And I know I was just saying, the first thing I'm gonna do when I get a new smoker is I'm gonna make a glaze for my ribs. I really want to try that, and either like mix it with something. I might even mix which will actually bring me to my next question. But I want to mix some maple into it. So you have a sample that you sent out to me, and I'm so excited for it because again, I'm sure people who listen know I'm a maple whore. I love maple. Any bourbons that are finished in maples, and you made a rum maple bourbon demerara syrup.
Yes.
So explain that. So what was the process with that?
So that was just a barrel. I was looking for, because I've been using smaller barrels, just like the regular charred oak barrels, like 2 liters, 5 liters, 10 liters. And I was looking around and I found a barrel that was an ex bourbon, ex maple, ex rum barrel.
Oh.
And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, that would make a freaking cool drink, or a good syrup, I hope.
Oh,
So I bought the
think
barrel and brought it here, and I filled it up earlier this year. I think it was in like April. I filled it. So I just started bottling some of the samples, sent them out to a few people, and want to see you guys' thoughts before we get it out there.
we should definitely all jump on a call or go on live and do that together. Because I know you sent one to Brian and I think Rob too.
Yeah, and yeah. So I'll send one to John actually.
But I'm definitely excited for that one. I know I've been talking to you about that one for a while. I've been patiently waiting. What bourbons do you normally make your old fashions with? But before we even get to that, I was gonna say, what got you into bourbon? What was something like how did your whole bourbon journey begin?
I grew up drinking Jack number 7.
Yep.
Well, not as a kid, but
Yeah.
You can tell the truth here. Yeah, as a kid.
that's something my stepfather always drank. So
Right.
that was something that was always around, and that's what we used to drink, me and my brothers and stuff. So that's what I used to drink. And then as I started getting older, I'm like, I really don't like this. So I started trying different bourbons. I remember I started with Jameson, tried that. I liked that for a little while. Then started trying different bottles. And this was back in 2016 or so that I started. So it's been about 10 years. And I remember going to my local liquor store, and Weller was on the shelf, Green Label, Antique
Yeah.
107. There's Elmer T. Lee that was on the shelf. I bought all those bottles when I didn't know anything about them for
There you go.
$30 to $40,
How much?
and $30 to $40,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and drank them like regular whiskey. Didn't know anything, but went through a couple of the Antique 107s, and then that's when everything got crazy and you couldn't find them. And then I did find them at the stores, it was $130.
Right. So
I
that
was
was
like, there's
inside of your rabbit hole, basically.
pretty much. I was
Yeah.
like, there's no way I'm paying $130 for a bottle that I used to buy for $35, $40.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I own a few of them, and I don't think I've ever paid more than like $70 or $80 for the antique 107s, and I refuse to pay anything over $100 for those. They're great.
No.
I love them, but like you said, I mean, you were getting them for $30, $40. I mean, that's what they drink at.
Right.
They don't drink over $100.
No,
No, they don't.
the same with Blanton's.
Oh, don't get me started with Bland's. I have a love-hate love-hate
Right.
relationship with Blanton's.
I love the 3.5
Blanton's.
barrel, but the
Yeah.
regular one, like me and John talk about it all the time, it's good, but there's just so much better stuff out there for a better price.
Yeah.
Well, if
You know?
that's, I would drink regular Blanton's. That could be my daily sipper.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying $100 for a daily sipper.
Right. Exactly.
You know. So if it was cheap enough, I would buy it, and that would be on my shelf, and I'd be drinking that all the time.
Right. So what is something that you drink all the time then? What is your daily sipper?
I don't really have one. I always bounce around.
Yeah.
So anytime I buy a bottle, I'll have a couple pours out of it, and then I'll put it in the basement. And then next time I buy a bottle, I do the same thing.
Right.
So a lot of my bottles are more than half full. And
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same boat. I kind of do the same thing. I've got about 200 bottles, and I think about 185 of them are open. And I usually crack them when I get them and drink it, and then like you said, I bounce around. But I would say I probably reach for a Jack or an Old Forester more than anything. That's just because I'm like, I don't know what to drink, and I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna grab this one.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time picking a bottle to actually like grab and pour and all stuff. So it's like, I'm a little bit longer.
Bottles.
I'm a little bit further into this journey than you guys are, but but the majority of the time, like Matt said and all stuff, I'm a Jack Daniel, and again, like you, I'm a Jack Daniels fan. I've actually drank it for years and years. Since I was a kid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm statute of limitations and all stuff is up. I don't have to get in trouble for it. So yeah, I was underage drinking Jack Daniels and sitting at campfires, fighting trees, like I've said in posts before. And I don't care what you say. Yeah, Jack Daniels is a bourbon, so I'll fight that stand all day.
Technically,
I'll start the fights on Instagram or whatever.
So we ask pretty much every guest the same kind of question. Is there a bottle that's meaningful to you? Is there a certain bottle that you want to crack every so often for a certain reason?
Not really, no. No, I mean, my go-to would probably be either an Old Forester 1920 or Woodford Double Oaked. Those were the two that actually really made me realize that I actually liked whiskey, and that's when I stopped drinking my bourbon on ice and was able to start drinking it straight.
And there's nothing wrong with ice.
No.
People give me shit for this, but before I was really into my whole bourbon journey, before I really knew anything about it, also, I was at my buddy's wedding, and it was this place up in Maine. They had a great bourbon list and everything. There was a bunch of great stuff. And first one I ever tried was a Old Rip Van Winkle, and I saw that on the list, so I grabbed it. And she was like, "On the rocks or neat?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, on the rocks, I guess. I didn't really know the difference. And then I was drinking Old Rip Van Winkle on the ice, thinking it was like cool. But now that I think about it, I'm like, the fuck was I doing?
And also, like I said, that's like my sentimental bottle and all that stuff was Eagle Rare, and I was cooking with it,
Yeah.
But that was back when it was like $30 on mid-sheer shelf or whatever, and I could actually get it anywhere.
Right.
So, drink what you like, how you like it. That's I hear that saying all the time, and so,
Right.
yeah. So, were you always into bourbon, or did you actually like drink beer, or did you go into tequilas, or do anything different, or was it always once you got into bourbon, once you actually got of age,
Right.
did you actually get into actually like anything else?
I used to always drink beer. I live right down the road from Wachusett Brewery,
Nice.
and I used to always just bounce around and try out different breweries. I used to have a buddy that would come over every Friday, and every time he came over, he'd bring a 6-pack of one beer, and I'd bring a 6-pack of another one, and every time it would be different beer. So it would be constantly trying new beer. Most of them were microbreweries and stuff. But then I kind of just stopped because it was drinking beer all the time is good, but it's just so filling.
Yeah.
And
Oh, dude, I gained so much weight, I think, because of that.
I actually stopped drinking beer years ago when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and all that stuff, and it was like the whole carbs and all of that stuff. So it's like I stopped and I tried to find something that I could actually like still drink and still enjoy and all that stuff. And that's when kind of like I started building up my bar and building up tequilas and rums and vodkas, and then I realized vodkas suck and stopped doing those. So so that's actually pretty cool. Beer coming in from like the hops and actually going into doing all of that. That's actually we have a couple of people in our group that are beer snobs, and talk about it like it's actually a religion. And I'm pretty sure I used to drink Sam Adams, and that was about it. So
I used to be into the IPAs, so I know the beer snob thing, because I used to do the whole drops like I do with the bourbon now. Treehouse and Bissell Brothers and Trillium. They used to have all these drops, and it was the same thing. Like, it's so allocated to once a year kind of thing. And I think what screwed me over on that is like my stomach. I was drinking it like crazy. I was gaining weight. It's filling, and then I think the lactose in it just started destroying my stomach. And I think it became like super sensitive to lactose, and then I just couldn't drink it anymore. So then I got into bourbon.
Yeah, if I know like I'm gonna be at a party and I'm gonna be drinking all day, I'll probably drink beer more. I'll stick with like the lighter beer, maybe drink like a Coors Light or something, just because I can handle it and it's not gonna do anything.
Right.
But for regular daily sipping or weekend or what I mean, anything like that, it's usually I usually have a bourbon or some type of drink that whether it's an old fashioned or if I'm yesterday I was out and I mixed up the Jack Daniel's Blackberry with some lemonade and had a few of those, and
I've been doing those lately too. The lemonades and the Buffalo Trace together.
Yeah. It's fucking fantastic.
But if you do the blackberry with the Jack Daniel's blackberry with lemonade and all stuff, that is awesome. Actually, for Memorial Day and all, that's kind of like all I drank was blackberry and lemonade.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
And
were talking about
they
that.
got
I'm gonna have to get that now.
well,
it's
it's
funny 'cause
easy to get. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
bought it.
I've never tried. I remember when it came out, everyone was like buying it like it was allocated. You're never
Yeah,
gonna see it
yeah.
again.
I bought a bottle last year when it first came out, and I never even opened it. I don't even know where it is. And we're going out yesterday, and we stopped at the store, and I ended up grabbing a bottle. I'm like, I already have a bottle, but
Yeah.
whatever, I'll just grab another one. But it's, a cheap drink, and it tastes good. So
Get a little bit deeper into, the barrel aged demerara syrup, and you again, I just kind of like wanted to learn a little bit more about your process, because I know barrel aging anything takes time. And I know, you probably are not a guy that just sits around and stares at a barrel while it's aging and all stuff. So what is the process that you actually go through to actually, like, I don't want trade secrets or anything like that, but kind of a process from when you actually like start a batch to when you're dumping it?
So like I said, I mean, I've only been doing this for just over a year now. When I first do it, it's just I'm using small barrels right now anyway still, so my barrels are upstairs in my kitchen. I make the syrup, I dump it right in the barrel once it cools down a little bit, after I test the barrels to make sure they're not going to leak. And then basically the barrel sits in my kitchen for a couple weeks before I move them into the basement, just so I know that it's not going to leak. I rotate the barrel a little bit to each side just to see make sure it's not going to leak from anywhere. And then once it's good after a few weeks, I bring it down to the basement and let it sit down there for the rest of the time for another 2 months, 2.5 months. So there's
You
not
find
really
that actually is better, is a cooler temperature in a basement.
it's that's what I mean. Like I said, I'm still new at this, so I
Okay.
look up stuff, and that's what I've seen is syrup should be aging, or should be sitting between right around 60 degrees. And my basement is cool, so
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's actually like kind of cool, because you talk about, where we talk about it being in the bourbon field and all stuff, about aging in barrels and all stuff, and then the just the temperature change. The warmer it is, the more porous and all stuff, and it gets, so the whiskey actually goes into the actual grains of the barrel, and then when it gets cold, it kind of pushes them out. So I would assume that syrup, it's a little bit different, but you would think that you would want that kind of same contraction, retraction, whatever kind of thing and all stuff, but that's not the case, or
no,
as you found, that's not the case.
it does fluctuate a little bit, because I did I'm going to be making batch 5. So batch 1 I did in the spring. Batch 2, when I did it, and I think it was aging when it was colder out. So I think, oh no, it was aging in the summertime. So the different temperatures, even when I have it upstairs in the kitchen, it's, room temperature. It's warmer because I have it sitting in the window. So I did notice a difference between the seasons and where I have it stored. And that's kind of why I switch. I don't leave it upstairs, and I don't leave it downstairs for the whole time too. I kind of do
So you move it around and
move it
to
around
get
just to see if it does change it. And I don't know if you've seen, like, batch 2 was a lot lighter than batch 1.
I did. You sent me a sample of batch 2 when I actually bought batch 3, and it was like the color difference was like, I mean, I don't know if you can actually see that color difference or not, but it's significantly different.
And it's same exact thing, aged in the same barrels, aged the same amount of time. I think it was just the season, or I don't know. I don't know what it was, but that's kind of, like I said, I'm learning, so that's one of the things I noticed.
Well, kudos to you for learning this. And again, we wouldn't have actually been, privy to this stuff unless you didn't come along. So again, I've always made my own demerara syrup and all stuff. I do a 2-to-1, just a simple demerara syrup, and that's kind of like how I've always done it. And then I would actually like give it the character it needs by using bitters or using other additives or whatever. So kudos to you for bringing it to us. This is actually, it's something that cocktails and all stuff is near and dear to my heart. I love doing it. I love experimenting with it, and this stuff is just good. My
I
next
started
question.
making my own. Before
You
go
started
on,
making your own?
I was gonna say, right before I bought this, I started making my own syrups. So I made an orange infused one where I used the that sumo orange I was telling you about, and it came out awesome. And then I went through that, and then I made another one, but I added a little bit of clove and I put a cinnamon stick in it, and did that with the orange, and that came out good. And then I found your product, and I'm like, fuck. My bottle's been sitting in my fridge since I made it. I haven't touched it because I've got this now. But no, dude, this stuff's again. You gotta get this out here.
I brought this out because I actually started making a cherry syrup.
Ooh.
So I actually have some cherries actually sitting in with a simple syrup and vodka, because that's the only thing good vodka does for. And I'm making an actual like a spiked cherry syrup with this. And my idea is I'm going to take some of that syrup and I'm going to blend it with your demerara syrup to actually give it just those spices and the sweetness and that barrel note and all stuff with it. So that was actually, something that I'm going to play around with too. Use your stuff to actually like make my stuff better. So,
So Dan, you were actually doing one of those, aren't you? Or planning on to?
Yeah, I have a blood orange syrup that's aging right now and should be ready next month.
Nice.
It's going to be really limited though, because it's in a small barrel. I'm probably only going to get maybe 10 bottles out of it.
I'll definitely be grabbing one.
Yeah, I think, and I try to keep one of those as like a giveaway or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, so talking about small batches and things like that, what are your plans for sink or swim? What is your goal? Well, so to actually like bring this out.
I want to stay small, and I want to be able to. I want to keep it manageable.
Right.
Even if I have help and am able to secure a building and have people helping me and stuff, I still want to keep it small and small batch. I don't want to be have crazy barrels and stuff.
You can get
that is a good way to do it, and you see a lot of smaller, even just smaller distilleries, they actually want to go too much too fast. They want to get into every state. They want to, get everything, but then they can't handle the demand, and then they get sunk behind debt and whatever, and they actually end up going bankrupt or closing the doors. So I think that's actually perfect, is actually keeping it small, keeping it manageable. But what I meant more for was, are you looking to actually get bigger barrels? Are you looking to actually get a little bit more so you can actually produce more than like 10 bottles or something like that? What is your plan for growth?
So right now, a couple weeks ago, I picked up a couple more smaller barrels. So now my plan is the small barrels that I have, like the 2 liters and the 5-liter barrels, I'm going to use those for testing syrups, for syrups that I don't know how they're going to be. And then my main barrels, or my main demerara, is going to be in probably 15 to 30 gallon barrels for now, and just keep those smaller. And then
That
I
would,
do have a 53 gallon barrel that I got from Boston Harbor Distillery that I plan on using. I just got to get the sugar and all the ingredients for it. But
yeah, doing syrup in a larger barrel, I think, would also cause some issues and all stuff because you're actually like that's actually a lot of syrup in a small surface area.
mhm,
And you don't have a lot of like of the syrup. You would actually have to be turning that a lot and
right.
actually like rotating that a lot. I love the idea of like 15-gallon barrel or 15-gallon barrels and consistency. I
Yep.
that's the one thing. I love the idea of actually doing the smaller barrels as your samples or your testing, but use the bigger barrels that for keeping your product consistent because that's the key. I would love to actually keep getting this batch. I think I have batch
Mhm.
3. I'd love to actually keep getting that batch, but I know you're actually going to be coming out with a new batch and new things, and it's going to change as it goes over. You're going to get better. You're going to figure things out. So that's once you figure it out, you have your batch that you love, the one that's actually going to be the thing. Are you writing these things down so you know how to replicate it, or is it just going by ear?
It's I do have I keep track of everything that I'm doing. The only the only thing I can't change is the barrels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's each barrel is going to be a little bit different. I guess it's depends on how many times I use the barrel. That's what I got to figure out is how many times I can use a barrel before it loses flavor or it doesn't give it any barrel flavor.
Yeah, it doesn't produce what you're looking
Right.
for.
So
That's cool.
like
I
I
got
said, each bottle or each batch is going to be different because each barrel is different. It
I got
could
like a
be charred a
2-liter
little.
barrel that I did projects in, and I think I can use it up to like 4 times, but that's a small.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. Once I get up to more consistency using the 15 or 30 gallon barrels, then that'll give me bigger batches, and I just need to make sure I have the sales to have that much syrup on hand.
I think you'll end up getting the sales, um, very soon. Once we push this
If
out there, we got to.
if
I'm
not,
telling
I'm buying them.
everybody. Yeah, I was gonna say if not, I mean, you already. Well, which kind of brings us into another question and segue that I was gonna start bringing up is the bourbon community. Um, this whole Instagram, like the little click that we got on Instagram there, with Justin, Matt, Rob, and Eric, Nick, I, the ones we're always sharing and collabing with and stuff. We all support each other and stuff, and I think um, just the bourbon community once they find out and they get a taste of this stuff, I honestly think it's gonna take off. Because I know we talked about it before. Some people are kind of intimidated by the price. They might see the price and be like, "Yeah, it's seems pricey." But once you taste this, it's quality. You know what I mean? It's where I'm every time I run out, I'm gonna be buying a new one. I'm gonna constantly be stocking this. It's so good. And
Well,
no, go ahead.
no, that's what I was gonna say. That was my concern in the beginning was I didn't know how to price it. When I first put it out, I had it at $15 a bottle, and then I started realizing with shipping and everything, I
Yeah,
wasn't making any profit off of it. Not
right.
not that I'm trying to make a ton of money, but I need
Yeah,
to
but you
make
gotta
enough
make it
money
worth your
to make
while,
more.
Right.
Right. So when
'Cause yeah,
I bumped the price up, and I've been told I should bump it up even more, but I don't feel comfortable selling. I just don't. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable bringing the price up again.
right. It is
And
good.
even with the limited edition batches like the blood orange, it's going to be limited. I was told that it was suggested that I should have that price be at like $25 a bottle, and I don't know if I can do that.
Right.
I
Like,
feel like it's kind of too much.
like
And
it's like the saying, you got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean? So it's like, I
yeah,
mean, these are materials and products and material. It's coming out of your pocket. Like you didn't just
yeah,
start this and you weren't funded something or given a loan to just start making stuff. Like this is something that came out of your pocket, and you have to make a profit so you can buy more stuff. Otherwise, it's just gonna constantly be coming out of your pocket.
right.
It's fun
Yeah,
and it's great and it's a great product, but it's got to be worth your while at the same time.
yeah, and that's kind of where I need to learn better business skills, because basically my first batch and a half, I did samples and I just gave them to everybody. I didn't make any money off of any of that stuff
Right.
until I started selling batch 2 and batch 3,
Right.
and I'm still,
I think a lot
know,
of a lot of smaller companies and all stuff have to kind of do that
Mhm.
just to actually get their product out there. And that's that's the name of the game and all stuff is getting your name out there, getting your product out there, getting it in people's hands so they can try it and use it. So having something, even though it's actually like, I don't think it's actually, personally, I don't think it's that expensive. I think it should be a little bit more expensive, just because of what it is. It's the time, the effort, the actual money that's you're taking out of your own paycheck to basically pay for this, and the small bottles that you actually have is not going to actually like support your family or anything like that. So you need to actually like make sure that you're doing what's right for the company, what's right for you. And because I would hate to actually see this become such a burden that you give up on it, because this is something that I believe in your product. It's a great product. Um, so I don't want you to give up on this. And so making sure that it's actually like, feasible to actually like keep going, that's more important. And
Yeah,
so
it's been a lot. It's been a lot of learning this year. I've been taking my time trying to make sure that everything I'm sending out, I like the way it looks. Like I like the way the bottle looks, the way the syrup is. I'm trying to make sure that everything looks good before I present it and get it out there. Because I don't want, I could have one shitty bottle or one batch that didn't come out that great, and I sell it, and then people don't buy it. So I'm trying to
Right.
make sure that I'm doing the right thing.
Well,
Um,
that's also what makes it worth the price too, because it's not something that's just mass produced and fuck it, they don't try it and they just send it out. This is something that's handcrafted. It's heart and soul into something. You're testing it. You're not just making it and shipping out just to make money. This is something that
Right.
you
And
enjoy
I-
doing, you like, and it's a great
and
product.
at the same time, I think you did a good job in actually keeping the smaller bottles. Just me personally, I look at shelf stability. Because it's a sugar product. It's going to actually, if you don't actually like take care of it or you don't finish it right away, it's going to go bad. You want to make sure that, it's good. So if you actually start producing bigger bottles, like 200 to 375s of this stuff, whatever, I don't think it's actually going to, sit on somebody's shelf that long, before something happens to it. And again, with demerara syrup, I've learned from my own batches and all stuff. You stick it in the fridge, it'll last for a while, but eventually you're going to start getting crystals at the bottom of it, and it's going to start growing a life of its own. So, have you thought about like how to actually like beat that, or just keeping it small bottles?
I think my goal was, originally it was just I liked the shape of the bottles. That's why I picked the bottles that I did.
I love the shape of the bottles. I love it. It reminds me of old school, what do you want to call them?
Glass.
The pocket, the flask, pocket flasks and all stuff. Yeah, it's just perfect. Not that I'm going to actually stick a sticky syrup in my pocket, but
That's a good point with the size of the bottles too. But I mean, for me, I if I had like a gallon of this shit, I'd be going through it pretty quick.
Oh,
But that's
well,
just
yeah.
me.
There's
But no, it is.
there's a difference between like the person that's probably going to drink this like like it's a bourbon and just pour it and drink it straight from the bottle, and the person that's actually using it for cocktails, you putting it on their shelves to actually have it with them at all times. Like my bar, I actually have a fully stocked bar back here, but there's a lot of the times that I'm actually remaking syrups because over time, just having them sitting on the shelf or whatever, you start noticing that it's actually going bad or it's growing mold or something like that. You got to dump it, clean the bottles, restart over from scratch. And so that's one of those things that, because not everybody wants a regular simple syrup, that a lot of people don't want agave syrup or whatever. So I want to make sure that the things that I'm actually using are being used with before they go bad, and this bottle size is perfect for that.
I was saying
Yeah,
that
you have the 12 ounce. Did you get the 12-ounce bottle?
I got
Yeah,
a
12 ounce.
Yeah,
And you got the 6-ounce?
I got a 12.
Yeah, because the 6-ounce bottles are different. They have like a graduated. They got the old school like graduated numbers and measurements on the side.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
And that's what I was looking for the 12-ounce bottles, but I couldn't find any. And
So
even finding these 6-ounce bottles is hard. There's only one place I found them.
And they're not cheap. And those 6-ounce bottles that actually have the labels on them, I've looked at those. Those are what, like $4 or $5 a bottle or something like that, or
They're not.
three?
No, they're not expensive really, because I think it's like $48 for a case of. No, it's
Yeah.
like $50 for a case of 48.
Okay,
So
because my 2-ounce bottles that I buy, these things right here, those are I pay like $36 for like 80 of those. So that's what I was kind of like trying to like figure out, the glass size or glass price. But you got to pay for those. You got to actually like, and then time on top of that. I'm assuming, I don't know if you actually like you have another job on the side, or like that's your main job and this is more of a side hustle kind of thing. So
yeah, I do work full time, and this has, like you said, it's been a high side hustle, and the past couple weeks I've been starting to think of it and treat it more as a business and not just a side hustle, because side hustles are temporary, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This, I want to be a business that grows. I'm not planning on growing huge or fast in any means. I'm not planning on making this my full-time job in the next year and quitting my job. It would be nice if I can make this a full-time job, but I know it's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that's like down the road. I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm just thinking, make a good product and get it out there, make some money off of it, and just keep making more stuff, because I have so many different ideas for different syrups I want to make.
Nice.
And I will be
All right,
buying
so-
all of them.
Okay, let's get away from the business side, because we've done that way too much right now.
Okay.
So Matt's mentioned it before and all that stuff. We're in actually that this whole bourbon community and all that stuff, and the the cliques that we're actually in, and who we're talking to. Serious question that we kind of like ask a lot of our guests and all stuff is, what does this whiskey community mean to you? How has it actually like helped you? What is it actually like? What is it that actually like makes you keep coming back to this?
Once I started, actually, I think Matt was the first person I talked to, really.
Really?
Yeah. And then I started talking
I'm
with.
sorry.
Yeah. Then I realized that you were part of the group too, and and then I
and
I sold.
I'm really sorry now.
Yeah, now you're really sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry
you
I
bought
had-
a bottle, John. You bought a bottle first under your other name.
Yep.
And then you started talking to me in the chat, and I'm like, this guy just bought a bottle from this under this name, and I was all confused because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then I was
I
like,
don't like that actually. Like when I buy things online, I don't want to actually like use my real name or like use the same name that I'm actually on Instagram or whatever
Yeah.
with, because I have a life. I don't want to actually like have a lot of people stalking me. I have cameras and guns, so go ahead, come and stalk me. But whatever.
Yeah.
So
But now
um,
once I started talking to you guys, and then started talking to Smoke Eaters and all the other guys,
Great
it's like
guys.
it's awesome, and then everybody just started talking about my stuff, and it's helped me. It's taken a lot of stress off of me because I felt like I had to keep coming up with new stuff and promoting myself and putting up new stuff. And there was times when I'm like, I don't have any ideas for stuff that I want to post on Instagram. I don't, and if I don't have an idea for something I want to post, I don't want to post it. And I don't want to be fake. So it's nice having this community promoting my brand and posting stuff and putting like tagging me in it, and it just helping me to promote my brand. So it means a lot to me.
One of the things that I wanted to do, and I'm gonna, say it here and all that stuff, is because I love making cocktails and all stuff. I'm gonna actually make more than just old fashions. I'm gonna make more than things with your syrup, and I'm actually gonna throw it up on Instagram. I'm gonna make sure that it's there, but I'm actually gonna fine tune some recipes that I actually use, that I actually make, that I think with a couple of tweaks with your syrup and all stuff are people are gonna love. So I think what I'm gonna do is, when I stop making those videos or making those cocktails, I'm going to throw them to your way, and then you can do whatever you want with them. If you want to use them for marketing, you can use, or if you want to use them for whatever, just to actually like say, hey, it's not just for old fashions. Here, let's look at this. I'm more than welcome to actually, like, more than happy to help you out with that. Just to throw it out there. I'll play around with these recipes. I've already made a couple of them. I've made some gin drinks and all stuff that I'm not a gin drinker, but I actually can make it taste good. So that's
It helps.
but I also have
that.
some brandy cocktails and all stuff that I want to try with it. I have some rum cocktails that I think would be perfect with this, because it plays into that same sweetness and whatever with some rum. Make some really cool, tiki style drinks with it. So anything that I actually like put out that's going to use your syrup, I will send to you so you can use them in any way you want.
That'd be awesome. My plan is, once I get a website set up, I want to have a whole section of just recipes, drink recipes,
Awesome.
food recipes, just any type of recipes, and just having people make drinks and suggest recipes. And then my other plan was having people suggest syrups that they want to see if I can try to make. And then
that would be cool.
if you come up with a syrup,
A
then
Luxardo one.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that before, Dan. But that's
I
a lot of.
I got that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that going.
Awesome. I just did. I took the Luxardo liqueur, which I know is going to be a little bit different than the regular.
It's a lot different, but it will still, once you actually mix it with syrup, it's going to make it into a cherry flavored syrup. And it's just, I think the issue you're going to have is if you use too much, it'll either overpower it or it'll make it too thin.
Right now my plan is I have it in the barrel. I dump the liquor in the barrel. I'm just going to let it age in the barrel for about a month, and then I'm going to dump it out, and then I'm going to dump syrup in it. So I'm not
do me a favor. Are you using pre-used barrels when you're dumping that in? Or was it a new barrel that you actually put it in?
It's a pre-used. It's a pre-used barrel. I just cleaned it.
Ah, damn. I was gonna say, take the a used barrel that actually has some like residue left over, throw the Luxardo in it, and then send me a sample of just that aged Luxardo cherry in your syrup barrel.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to try that.
Okay.
So I'll pay you for it. I want to just kind of like play around and try that and see if you have something there. Just doing a simple barrel aged Luxardo or a barrel aged liqueur that's being barrel aged in your syrup.
Yeah, I might end up changing this because the barrel that I put the Luxardo in, I don't like that barrel. I've had issues with it before with it leaking and with giving like a weird taste. So I might end up dumping it out of that barrel and trying it in another barrel because it's only been in there for a week.
Well, here we are actually like talking business again, and all.
No, it's you know,
I love it, and it's like I wanna try it and all stuff because again, I love making cocktails. I love making things. You know, I love one of my favorite things to make is making honey syrups, so I can make like the bee's knees or like I can make a couple of whiskey cocktails with honey, like was it the Goldfinger or something like that? There's a lot of cocktails and all stuff with honey, and I don't like honey finished bourbons, but I love using honey in cocktails.
Right. Yeah,
and so it's just finding the new flavors and all stuff. Like I said, I have 3 shelves here of just pretty much bitters and syrups and like a whole bunch of other things that I use for cocktails, and they're plain, and just trying to find that new cool thing. And you did the new cool thing with this, and like I said, I'm going to make some cocktails with it. I've been making cocktails with it, but they're kind of like the same old cocktails that everybody makes. I want to actually try to like make new ones that are actually like using this to actually bring out the flavors, like the the old fashioned Oaxacan old fashioned that I just made and all stuff. That syrup with mole bitters and Angostura bitters, doing both of those along with your syrup and doing a really good añejo tequila with just a half an ounce of mezcal. It's a fantastic freaking drink. And it's just, but you pull the actual flavors from your syrup using only about a half an ounce of your syrup. It brings a lot of the flavors. I've made this cocktail with regular demerara, and it's not the same. This actually brings it out just a little bit more of like a cinnamony kind of note to it and all stuff that you don't get in using regular demerara. And so you got something, buddy.
That's I don't even know how I came up with it. It just I was like, maybe I'll just throw this in a barrel.
Sometimes the best things and all stuff are when you say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
But I had so many I had other ideas before that with like I'm gonna do like a bourbon trail tour guide shit. I'm like, I don't live down there. How the hell am I going to do that?
Why would you do that?
I've never even been down there. How am I going to do that? So then I stopped, and I'm like, well, let's just.
Maybe we should do like a distillery tour guide for Massachusetts or something like that.
I thought about that, but I'm like, they're so far apart.
Yeah, but
and there's not a ton of them really.
Well, not just whiskey, but you got rums, you got like Privateer, Bully Boy. You got, do we include gins and vodkas? No, fuck them. But rums and
rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. I shit on vodka and gin so much, but I have a lot of it, so I don't know.
I've had a bottle of
but
Wheatley sitting on my fucking shelf for 3 years and I haven't touched it.
Did you have to
I
buy
bought
that to get
one
the
of those
No,
Buffalo
I
Trace?
170.
actually I got it at a seminar at the Burlington Wine and Spirits at a
I
Buffalo
have
Trace
that
thing,
same
and
one.
they gave it to us, and they were like, "Here," and it's sat there. It's been sitting for 3 years. I won't touch it. I actually
That one?
got I actually got another one at another Buffalo Trace seminar 2 years later, and I gave it to my sister, and it's fucking sitting on her shelf now. Because this
I,
was a
I,
big podcast.
I have that one, and shout out to Burlington Wine for doing the seminars and all stuff. But
Yeah,
stop with the Wheatley vodkas, okay? Wheatley vodkas.
I know.
They gotta find a way to get rid of it.
We shout them out, I think, almost every video podcast we do. But yeah, stop with the Wheatley.
Stop with the Wheatley, buddies. Um,
I was actually gonna get into this too because he already kind of mentioned. I didn't actually know that I was one of the first people you were talking to with on the Instagram thing. Because when I first started, in Smoke Eaters, Rob and Eric did were one of the first people I started talking to. And we're close friends now. I mean, we talk almost every day. I play Xbox with him. You know, like we shoot the shit all the time. You know, and he's always, I don't know this guy through the hole in the wall, and he's 5, 6, 7 hours away from me. And he's like, if you ever need to talk, if you ever need somebody to talk to, just call me, text me. I don't care what time it is. And I've been going through quite a bit of shit. So every now and then I'll toss him a text. And just to like shoot the shit and kind of get my mind off stuff. And it just comes back to this whole community. And again, like we say, it's more than what's in the glass. Burbis brought us all here together, but it's more than what's in the glass. We don't even have to talk bourbon. We just shoot the shit and we just vent and we get things off our chest. And that's why I love this community so much, because it doesn't have to be about the bourbon, but we're all here for the same reason. But it can always go, you know, more than what's in the glass.
Yeah, I think what I've realized as I've gotten older is I used to always think it's just me. It's just me. I'm the only one that's going through this. Or I'm overthinking something.
Yeah.
And then you start talking to other people and you're like, oh,
No,
they got the same issues.
it's
And
so much
that's
more.
all it is.
There's so
Everybody
many
has something that they're going through.
there's so many other people out there just like us going through the same shit. You know what I mean? And it's good to,
even if it's
Wait.
not the same shit and all stuff, people
Yeah,
are going through
but-
shit, and
exactly.
it's
But it's good to have someone that you can just talk to that's not like gonna be biased because it's your cousin, your brother, or your sister. You know what I mean? And again, like we've said before in future past podcasts, and John's mentioned it. You don't want to put your burdens on anyone else. Like I don't want to put my fears and my burdens on my wife. Now she's gonna be fearful for like what I'm thinking of, and she's like that's why I don't tell her half the shit that's going on, because I don't want her to worry about me. Because I mean I know eventually I'll figure it out. That's what we do, but it's good to talk to somebody that's in the same boat that can relate. You know what I mean? And then give each other advice.
Yeah, and just asking, am I overthinking this, or am I,
yes.
is it right of, am I right to be thinking like this, or am I being an idiot? Like,
And we're gonna, and if you ask me, because I'm old and decrepit, and I've been doing this for way too long and all stuff, I am gonna tell you that yes, you are overthinking of it. Shut up, have a pour, sit down, and have a talk with me, and
I was
we'll
gonna say
figure it
that.
out.
90% of the time you're overthinking it, and I'm probably one of the biggest examples of that. Again, with my ADHD, man, I overthink everything, and I think big, and I think way more than I should, and then it ends up being like the most minuscule shit.
My problem is since we started this group, I stopped worrying about you guys. I stopped worrying about everybody else, and it's like I shouldn't be, but I am. I'm like, my bar's named Pop Pop. Okay,
Well,
I'm the
I was
grandfather
gonna say
of the
you're
actual
Pop
group.
Pop.
I think I'm probably one of the oldest ones in the group. So there's like 3 or 4 of us that are actually 50 or more. That are we just care because we've what was the commercial and all stuff?
Geriatric
We've seen a
fuck.
thing or two because we've been through a thing or two, you
Yeah.
know? So, you know, and so I stopped worrying about it. I've had this conversation with Matt several times where it's like I start seeing trends and all stuff, and then I actually like, hey Matt, do you know that this is actually happening? You know what's going on? And all, and you know, Matt says, yeah, I kind of see it now. And so it's like, and now I'm overthinking about all of everybody else's issues.
Mhm.
So having somebody like Matt or you guys, you know, I've not been on I've been in computers for like pretty much my whole career. That's what I do for work is I work with computers. And I barely go on Instagram until Matt decided to actually like take this to social media and just blow it up. And so,
Yeah.
um,
Full potato.
so it's like I will scroll, but I barely ever actually like talk until
Mhm.
just recently. Now it's like here I am in front of a freaking camera, you
Yeah.
know, talking about my freaking feelings to a whole 4 people of you know that watch these things. So
You're
Yeah, we're at
welcome.
like 30 views. Yeah. And the same thing. I never thought I'd be sitting here like dumping my feelings on a fucking video podcast or you know, making videos and stuff to post. But I don't know. It's an outlet for me. I mean, I like it. I enjoy it now. We had a share, and John had mentioned that he was gonna kind of not step back from the group, but kind of just lean back a little bit and then basically hand it off to me. And I've had a vision ever since I started my bourbon journey that I want the due to the reviews and I wanted the barrel picks and I wanted to just take the fuck off and so we started the Instagram and it took the fuck off and now we got barrel picks and we've checked all the boxes in such a short time and now it's just like now I see the community and I see the people that are in this and it's just like addicting. It's just it's happy. It's euphoric. If I'm saying that right.
You're not.
no,
It's
you're
just,
not. But
I know.
Not a choice. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Read the
I'm
page,
trying to
please.
make the shit sound fucking authentic. You got it all fucked up.
Austin, what?
I'll get you a damn dictionary later. Whatever.
I've had a couple of these. All
It's
right.
the speaking spell.
Speak and spell.
It's just a good feeling. You know what I mean? That there's a community that you can stand behind, and they have your back, and
Mhm.
and you don't even have to know half these people. You know what I
No.
mean? Um,
It's
you know,
it's funny because for some of this, like for some people, when I first meet them and they start saying like, "Hey, I'm going to start sharing your product and telling people about your product," it's like for me, my first thought is, I don't even know you. Like, why are you trying to help me?
right?
And like, I don't believe them.
Well, don't learn. Don't get to
That
know me because I'm a horrible person. But I will actually like you know throw this out there to whoever actually like wants to try something different, something cool, and so again, you don't need to know me and all stuff. I'm a grumpy old man that actually is probably going to tell you that you know my life story and how many times I can actually tell you about the story I fought a tree. So whatever.
That's another thing. I think you mentioned every podcast.
It's
I've heard
it's
that
a
story a
funny
lot.
story.
It is funny, and it'll never get old. John fights trees when he drinks Jack Daniels.
But yeah, hey, we actually have this big following. We started meeting these people on social media. Never thought I'd be actually one of those people in social media. Matt brought that out when I actually said I was going to step back a little bit.
I
It
brought you
was to
back in,
actually allow
motherfucker.
you brought me back in. You horrible,
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
horrible person. It wasn't that I wanted to step back out of the group. It was I wanted to actually like not be responsible for your guys' decisions of what you guys wanted to do. And I wanted I wanted the social media to actually go and blow up and do what it's been doing, and I knew Matt was actually going to be passionate about that. And so meeting meeting Eric, all these other influencers or whatever you want to call them on Instagrammers, Insta peeps. I don't know what you want to call them, but
Don't say peeps.
there's a lot of terms that you could use there, um, but it helps. And I didn't realize until just recently, some of these people, you guys are local to us. You're in Massachusetts, or
Yeah.
there, or maybe a couple of hour drive away and all stuff. So
And
it's
Dan's
like
only an hour from me.
it's not unlikely that we could say, hey, do you want to meet up and actually have a pour? So it's one of those things where it's like, now that we actually know you and we actually like know what you're doing and all stuff, it wouldn't be strange for me to actually say, hey, I'm in your neck of the woods. You want to actually go grab something?
Same.
So
Yeah.
Well, I
same
was gonna
thing.
say, me and
I don't
Dan
know
have been
who actually
planning to
wants
meet
to come
up.
up to New Hampshire, but because we're the boonies of,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
you know what? For me, being here, I'm in Central Mass, so I drive an hour one way or an hour the other way. I'm on the other side of the state,
Right.
and or in New Hampshire. So me driving an hour, is not a big deal. That's nothing for me.
We'll
If
have to
I'm
get you
driving
to
an
one of our. We'll have to
hour
get
to go
you to
hang
one of our
out and have a
shares.
good time, I'm
Yeah.
down.
Me and Dan have
hell,
been
I've
trying to actually meet up for a couple weeks, but I know we've been both busy in personal lives and stuff. But I still have your shirt. We have to meet up eventually. If not, I can
Yeah.
always send it to you. But no, I'd rather meet and have a pour and then shoot the shit. But
You want
we'll
to try
definitely
it
have to
on
get
me to make
you.
sure it fits? You want to try it on me to make sure it fits?
he wants to see you actually like take off your shirt, put that one on.
They're comfy, man. But no,
They are
and
comfy
plus
shirts. I
they're
was
so.
surprised when I actually
I'm
grabbed it. It's
I'm wearing it right now.
soft.
And like I said, I want like I want my whole dresser to be filled with them, just because how comfortable they are. They don't even have to say anything on them. They don't even have to say Wicked Whiskey. I just want these shirts. They're so comfortable.
As long as you had Wicked Whiskey and Sink or Swim, you'll be fine.
Exactly. I know. I should be getting your shirt tomorrow.
Yep. And I went with a different shirt too.
Did you? Not the Gildan one.
I did the Gildan, but I did a different
Like
one.
a different blend.
Yeah, different blend. So it's a thinner shirt. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit more fitted, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of like these. They're a tri blend. It's like cotton and like two other random things I can't pronounce, like rhino. I don't know. But they're super light, they're soft, and it's a perfect summer shirt. Like I feel like when I wear these ones, I don't sweat as much. Like with my cotton shirts, like they just soak the sweat up, and
It
they're
just
wet.
means you're not working hard enough.
Yeah. You should see my work shirts at the end of the day.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my shirt. I'm going to cut the sleeves off as soon as I get it.
Fucking wee.
You're vitamin D deficient.
Yeah, I don't.
John's outside fighting trees. That's the only time he gets sun.
No, that was
That's
at night.
nighttime though, usually, right?
Because I got to sneak up on it because he's with all of his buddies in the forest. So
they all got his back
on there though.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
Matt's reliving his coke days from college, and Justin's just grinning pure joy. Oh, that's the other Matt. All right, so not me. I'm like, I saw Matt and
Are
coke.
you sure?
I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
I didn't go to college.
I didn't go exactly. I didn't go to college.
And that wasn't that long ago.
Oh man. I just like the way it smells.
It's like a pretty flower.
It's numbing.
My first old fashioned I made with Jack Rye, single barrel proof, 128 proof. That was good. The second one I made with Old Forester single barrel
100
100
proof.
proof store
That's a
pick.
great bottle. I love that.
That is a fucking good old fashioned.
I'm gonna have to send you a sample of this. I don't know if you've had the Ancient Wisdom.
I have not.
This is a hazmat. It's like 100 and what is it? 142 or 140 something. What is 72.1 percent?
Yes.
But it's a hazmat anyways. But yes.
I
I'll
was
have to
on
send you-
here trying to get Ancient Wisdom from John here, so
I'll have to send you a sample. This
That's
stuff is
ancient
dude,
wisdom. I
it's
see how
good.
you did that.
Like I wasn't huge on a rye. This is one of the first ryes that I started drinking. Then I was like, okay,
I think
yeah,
that
I
went
like
over
it.
Matt's head.
What'd you say?
He said he was trying to
Probably.
get ancient wisdom from me. So
Well, John doesn't have hair, so definitely got all the
Yeah.
wisdom. Oh, see,
Hey.
I gotta join the club.
right?
I'm losing. No, my shit's
You're
receding.
the outcast.
yeah, I don't know what you're dealing with.
It's falling
You're
out.
still
I'm
young.
going
You
to
still
wash
have
it.
your hair.
It's gray though.
Mine traveled south.
Same.
I shaved my beard off on accident like 2 weeks ago. I wouldn't even say 2 weeks ago. Oh, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I asked my wife to grab me the buzzers. You put a 3 on there. I'm like, okay, that's probably long enough. I like went up the side of my sideburns and it was just like to the skin. I was like, fuck. Well, I can't stop now, so I just fucking buzzed the whole thing off, basically. And like,
Are you trying to say that you thought 3 was big?
that's what she says. She said the big one's hurt. Oh, for real.
You do realize they lie to you, right?
Yes.
This is the biggest I've ever seen.
Hey, I will say though, after losing 140 pounds, I did gain an extra 3. So now I'm at 4.
Now I can see the. Now
Now
I can see the tip. He winks
No,
at
I
me.
still can't see mine.
But what I was getting at is that once I shaved my beard, I saw all the fucking whites and grays, and I'm like, what the
Mhm.
fuck, dude?
Yeah, same.
have that.
I had my beard trimmed up a couple weeks ago, and now all the grays are sticking out.
If I don't keep this trim and all that stuff, I look so fucking old. It's like I hate it. So yeah, I'm older than I do now, but still.
I like the fact that nobody ever thinks I'm as old as I am.
Oh,
How old
everybody
are you?
thinks I'm fucking ancient.
Everybody that I ever talk to, and they think I'm in my mid 30s.
I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna
be
say
46. I'll be 46 next month.
No shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were gonna be like late 30s.
Mhm.
That was what my guess
I
was.
was gonna guess that you were around my age. I'm 35. I was gonna say you're probably around my age, maybe a couple years older than me, but I didn't. I was gonna say 46.
Yeah, you're a whippersnapper.
Yeah,
It's the beard and the mustache and everything. You know what I mean?
all you young grasshoppers.
Yeah,
Here I am, 51 years old. So fuck off.
yeah. See? Me and you are closer in age than we are. Me and him.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm kind of late. I know we all have work in the morning. Dan, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a blast. Love learning everything that you're doing about your with your company. Is there anything that you want to share with us? Any new products? Anyone you want to shout out? You know, any big news coming for Sink or Swim?
I just realized today that I actually have pretty much the rest of my year planned out for syrups. So I got some stuff coming, stuff you guys already know about, new stuff that you guys don't know about, and it's gonna be cool. I'm ready.
I'm excited
Hope
to
you
see
guys
what
are ready.
yeah. I'm excited to see what you
about
got coming out soon, and I'm excited for that sample that I hopefully get tomorrow.
You guys are gonna be my test dummy. So
I'm excited to actually have my wallet cry because I'm actually going to be spending a shit ton of money with you. So whatever.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna buy probably everything you end up putting out.
I'll
Anyway,
keep your
so.
card on file.
Dan, thanks again for taking the time to hang out with us tonight. We really appreciate you sharing your story, your bourbon journey, giving us the behind the scenes with Sink or Swim. And as always, take care of your friends, take care of yourself. And as always, John,
remember, it's more than what's in the glass.
cheers.
I'll go with that.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Good friends, good
Cocktails.
I pass because it's more than what's in the glass. Welcome to the Wicked Whiskey Podcast.